ArcGIS 123 Connect. So I'm going to be dropping this link together with the video. We are going to download ArcGIS. It is free. It is ArcGIS 123, and then you are also going to download that using your phone as well. So I'm also going to share the app, and I think iOS, for those of you that are using iOS. So there is also a link to it, so you have to find it. So but basically this helps us to do a smart form and smart data collection. So we are going to be using this ArcGIS to connect and design and publish smart form on ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Enterprises. So this Connect work in combination with spreadsheet editor and allow you to preview and validate your SM form using GIS account with a publishing privilege. You can also use ArcGIS 123 to connect to publish your survey design into ArcGIS organization. So we are, like I said, we're going to be using this software, which I'm going to attach the link for you to download that. Then for me, I have the software already, and then if you look here, you can see I've signed in. So I am using African Geospatial. So if you don't have ArcGIS Online, so you can register under African Geo portal. Yes, so when you register African Geo portal, you register your username and password and verify your email you get here. So you need to have this. So now here you design, this is the form after installing this software which I am trying to talk about here. So when you install it, it is going to come like this. So you launch it. Now when you launch it, you can see here design, tutorial and community. Before that, you can see here I've already logged in, and that's why you are seeing my account here. Now this is resources, where you can look at tutorial to see what is possible and what you can actually do. For me, I am going to actually do a basics today. I'm not going into advanced aspect of it, but we're just going to do the basic things we just need to do. But what I'm trying to say, under here you can see different things: result, free trial, web app, field app, website, web design, connect 123, get started and home. So you can explore all of them, and then you can see the way you can get this done. So whatever you do here will be automatically be synchronized with your the satellite data collection. And the good aspect of ArcGIS 123 is that you can also connect it to the GPS you are using, like the DGPS you are using. When you design a form, assuming you are interested in the location data, you can also connect that to the GPS you are using. So we'll be going deeper into that, but like I said, this is going to be a basics of us building a data that we are going to use to create Arc dashboard in ArcGIS. We're going to do data on ArcGIS Online, and we're going to see how we can access those data we are creating right into our ArcGIS Pro or ArcGIS ArcMap. So we can access those data there automatically. So this is it. So this is the form design. This is where I am. So I'm going to click new. Now when you click new, you can see here advanced template, standard template. Now the advanced template have all the XLSForm features supported in ArcGIS 123, while this also have features that are supported in both ArcGIS field map and web app. So this is the tools. Now if you click here, you can view the details. Now if you go down here, you can see this is the arc. This is what I mean here. This is the XLSForm. For this is the template, this is the standard template, where you can see here the text. You can see the way it is written here. Now also at the same time, you can also see here, I can open up here. This is the Arc toolbox, the XLSForm. Now this is also the XLSForm here, as you can see here, but this particular one is the advanced tools. So if you need your own, you download your own. So now you can download. Now the good aspect of XLSForm is that, assuming I design a equation, I can share it with you. You just upload and it is done. Now this is the form. So you can see here, you can see the way it is. This is the advanced tools, and we can use the advanced, or we can also use the aspect of the standard. But what I'm saying is that you need to understand this, because you will really understand what I'm trying to say the moment we start. But in here you can see choices, you can see the settings, you can see the version, you can see the question type, appearance, you can see different types of field. And this is really important, because in as much as we are in geospatial profession, there are a lot of work you do that actually require you to use this, like all in fact it is really important. So for me, I just want to use the standard template here. Now today I am going to use example, because we are going to collect hospital data. So we are going to write it, maybe we can put it hospital. So I'm going to type here, I'm going to type hospital data collection. Now this is what I'm going to call as name. You can use a template, you can use the features, you can use blank. Now if you look here, file, if I have file, you are going to understand it after we finish designing this. You will understand it better. But for example, this particular XLS form, once you have XLS form, it is a format. Once you upload, it is necessary. I think one day I will take time to teach us XLS form. It's really important, because like I said, in a big organizations, or all those data you see in GIS, we are collecting that and rest of them, these are designed with mostly XLS form, and then you need to know how it works. But assuming I have finished designing this, I can click here to select. But on this case, I want to use blank, and that is why I am using blank here. And like I said, I'm going to use standard template. Now in the standard template here, I've written these things: hospital data collection. Now you are in the organization, they ask you as a GIS specialist, we want you to design an XLS a form that we use to collect data. Now what are you supposed to do? So this is the basic of what you are going to do, just like as I'm doing it. So now it is creating the XLS form, and when it creates the XLS form, now it is your responsibility to populate it. So you can see here, you can see the name here, it is showing me here the hospital data collection. Now automatically it is opening an Excel for me. Now if you look smartly, you see that this particular software have opened an Excel for me, which is the XLS form. And if you look critically on the Excel, you see here that it have written it hospital data collection. Same thing, it also open the location. You can see the location of where I installed this Survey123. So automatically you can actually see that it captured the name. Now if you go to setting, you can see this is the title here. Look at here, yes or no. This is example of what it shows us as a data, like we are going to be talking about them. But now I want to return back a bit here. So if you look here, you see if I step back a bit, you can see the hospital data collection here. Now in here, you can do save as, you can open a folder which you can open. So you can see here, if you click on this, it's now open to you back here, like the hospital data. Now here, if you click here, you can see here that it is actually showing me my location automatically. Like I said, I'm going to show you, because you are expected to collect the data, and you can also connect it to ArcGIS. So if you look here, you can see that this is automatically showing me, or this is automatically showing all of us the location of the world. So you can see where this is as you can see here. Sorry. So you can see this is showing me the location and where I am, and here you can see the log data here, so as it is automatically logging. So I am going to explain this better as we move on. Now if you look here, you see that these have actually putting up this here. Now this is the first example here. Why do we have example of the test? Now because in this particular Excel here, we have this. Now in the settings, if I want to set the title of the form, I can put the title of the form by pasting the hospital data here. I can put it here, it goes in. Now here is version. This is the version which is trying to tell you the version of the template. This is the question type. Tests, what does it mean? Integer, decimal, date, time. We are going to be exploring them. Appearance, you can click on this also to explore them, like which you are going to explore, because I would really, like I said, I would really want you to know this, because this is very important, because that's what makes you a special geospatial analyst or specialist in any company you are. Now if you look here, we have question. Here we have type, here we have name, here we have label, hint. Now these have ability of translating for you. If you keep on going here, you can see required message, read only, default, calculation, cost and relevant, repetition, audio, message, image. Like you can put image to them, bind. These are different things, and I can put it in such a way that, assuming I want it to translate Igbo to me, I can make it translate it, everything I shows in Igbo. And when Stephanie, who does not understand Igbo but Yoruba, Stephanie can also select a language version that will translate automatically to Yoruba, and all the answer will be given to me in the aspect I want it to translate. So on a quick one, this is survey, this is choice, and this is setting. So for today, we'll basically be using these two, and then like I said, this is the choice here. If you come here, that I put the hospital data up here, I can come into the hospital data here, like you can see here. This is the hospital data you see. I can say hospital data collection. So if I return back to this Excel, and then the title, I can type the title here, hospital data collection. As you can see, it have already written it up here. So if I type it, hospital data collection, so this actually the title of this particular form. If I share this form with you and you upload, that automatically gives you that. So in a quick one, if you look here, you see the first thing I have here is tests, and now it gives me here the name is example 1, and the next thing it gives me here is select example 1 test. Now if you return here on the XLS form, I'm just making an example because I'm going to go deep into it, where we are going to make it more understandable. But if you look here now, you see that in here you see example 1 here, enter the test. So it is now showing me example 1 here, where it is telling me to enter the test. I don't know, but it is not responding. I don't know what's the issue with it. The software and Excel itself is not responding. So while we are waiting for it, so let us start with entering the name. So the first thing I want us to do is that here I'm going to say name of the hospital. So I can just start with name of the hospital. So now the label here, this must be unique. Okay, so here, sorry, I made a mistake. So I am going to say here hospital name. So I'm going to type hospital underscore. So I can just say, let me put it hospital underscore name, for example. And then what is the name of the hospital? Now what do I want it to label? I can say, what is the hospital name? Now if you look here on the choice, there is rating, there is yes or no. Now if you look here on the survey, you see test here. Now because I am using test here, if you go to the question type, you can see here that test means free test respond. Now if I return back to survey here, because I am putting test here, it means that the hospital name is going to be, what's the name of the hospital. Now this is actually I don't know why it is not responding, so a bit, let me save it, and also maybe I have to close it up. I don't know why it is not responding, so let me close the software and relaunch it again in a moment. Yeah. Okay, so let me a bit also close this Excel, and then let me also relaunch it again. So maybe it will be responding, but I think it is from this laptop. I'm having a bit low space, but let's hope it is not. So it's now connecting here, so it's trying, because like I said, you can, before you get it continuous, so you have to actually sign in. So this spreadsheet has been modified. Do you want to update the survey? I will say yes. Now automatically that is going to interact with the Excel sheets. Yeah, so it have connected, so you can see my sign in here. That is perfectly here. So it is updating, and you can see the first question I put there is going to change. So it is optimizing the software. So you can see here, what is the name of the hospital? You can see the name of the hospital is already showing here. Now I'm going to open the XLSForm again, because that's where all the equation I do, once I save it, is going to return back to the other side. Now I have entered the name of the hospital. If I need a hint, I can say please enter the name of the hospital. For example, hospital. Now if you look here, now if you look at this Excel, there is nothing that changed here. But the moment I say Ctrl S to save this particular Excel sheet, now look at what is going to happen here. It is going to automatically pop up and start updating. So everything I do on the Excel sheet, and once I save it, that is going to automatically update it on the form. So it is now optimizing the software. So you can see the hint, please enter the name of the hospital. This is exactly what I put up here, and that's going to come in that way. Now the next question I would actually ask us to put up, now where does the test come in? Because I mentioned test here, that's automatically going to pick it as a test here. Now the second thing I could actually think is to select one. Now in the select one, look at the choices here. If you look at, you see the listing, renting. Now I can go here and say states. Now if I go down to state here, what is the name of the state? Look here, states. What is the name of the state? And then what is he going to label? So in here, this is states as the name I'm going to mention. Then this is the label it is going to be, because it's going to come in different states. So for me to make this faster for me, I might decide to use a web browser, and then I will go in here and say Nigeria states names, because I want to copy out the name of the state in Nigeria. So you can see the name of the Nigerian state comes in here from A to Z. So now here I can come here and copy all to 36, so it's supposed to be 37. Then I can return here, for example, and let me create a new design. Let me use AI and tell this to list the name of Nigeria states, removing the capital. So I just want to use this to get it fast, because that is actually going to make it faster for me. Yeah, so you can see here it is now running it down to the end. Now I am going to come here and then copy all the Nigerian states, because I just want to make it Abia, just like Omar here. And then I will return back to the Excel sheet. Now under state here, under the label, I can paste this. Now you see under the label here, I have from Abia, Omahia down to the 36 states. Now what am I going to do? In here, I'm going to generate all these things as states to the end here. So you can see all of them as states. Now for me to know what I am doing here, in here, I'm going to make this thing a small letter. So for me to make all these small letter, I'm going to use Excel that says proper. No, I'm going to use lower, because I want it to be in the lower case. So I'm going to go to lower, and I'm going to copy Abia, and I'm going to press enter. So that's going to give me Abia to lower. So I'm going to make it here down to this place. Now in here, I'm going to copy from Abia here and just drag it into the same place, because I need the label. So I'm going to move it to here. Then in here, because FCT is a long one, so I'm just going to type small letter FCT to replace it. Now what am I going to do here? I want to select one of the states. So this is the state, which is the list name. The name is this, and the label is this. Now if I return back here, you see now that what am I going to do here? I'm going to type here as states, and then in the label here, I'm going to say here, this must be unique ID. So I'm going to go in here first. Let me start with select one. So I'm going to select one here, and then I'm going to remove this select one list and put states. Now under here as the name, I'm going to say select the hospital state. Now in here so I'm going to use this as a state, as the name of this particular variable, like the name I'm going to call it. Now because I say select one state here, and in under choices here I have added this in a state. Now look at what is going to happen. Look here, everything is okay. You see now this question is only showing question 1 and 2. Why? Because in the question here there is the third one here, so I am going to remove this third one here, but let me leave it because I will replace it with another one. But the moment I press Ctrl S, now look at what is going to happen here. So this form is going to automatically be converted, and you see now that it's going to have a drop down of the name of the state which it is going to show. So automatically it's going to refine it because I have added another question, which is what is the name of the state. So if you look here, you can see now that all the state names have appeared here. So you see from the beginning here, select the name, select the hospital state. You can see Abia, Omaha, Adamawa, Yola down here to whatever, to FCT. Now I want the FCT to be in alphabetical order. What am I supposed to do? I will return here to choice, and remember that here there is a FCT supposed to come under here. So F is EF, so I can go here to say insert. So I can insert here, and I can bring FCT here. So I can just go here and then cut, and then I will now replace FCT here. Now if I save again and then return back to this, so you see now it is converting the XLS form, and once it finishes converting, it's going to return the FCT to the normal position as where I put it. So this is a way you can create your data. So if you look here, you can see here that it is putting FCT down here for me. After Enugu, it is putting FCT down here for me. Now, this is a way you can add a state. Then the next we also do is in that hospital part. Now for me, I might decide to, you can see rating, all these things, ignore it for now because it comes with the default. So we are going to use that later. Now the next thing we can ask is, what is our third question? Our third question is functional status. So we want to know what is the functional status of the hospital. So I'm going to go in here and say functional here, because this is not accepting this. So I'm going to here, I'm going to just make here functional status, because this is the label, so it is going to be functional status. Now in the functional status here, I'm going to make it function. Now okay, it exceeded enough, so I'm going to make it function. Now what is going to be here, so I'm going to also make select one. For me, before that, I'm going to these choices and create function. Now look here, what is the listing name? I have to make it function. Now under the label, I can also make it here, under here, I can decide to put a 3 type of function, whether it is functional. So let's start with here, let's start with function. Then let's go again, it can be function, it can also be not functioning. So I'm going to put not underscore functioning, not underscore function. Then I can also put unknown, because you might not know whether it is functioning or not functioning. Here in the label here, so I'm going to put it well in the label here. What am I supposed to do? I'm going to put functional. Now this is what I want it to label for me, so I'm going to put it functional. The next thing I'm going to say not functional. Then the next thing is that I'm going to say unknown. Let's say you don't know what is there. So what are you going to do here? I'm going to use the function to know 3 of them. So I'm going to use function here. Now I will return to the survey, and here, and I will go select yes or no. I'm going to replace this with function. Now once this is done and this is correct, I can save, and once I save, you can see this start updating. Now what happens, the next thing you're going to have there is functional. Now there is another thing. If you look at this form, you can see that the form is going longer. and I want to use a drop down because the 36 state for us is too long, so it is going longer, the form. So I want to use a drop down. You can see here we already have a functional here. Now I want to use a drop down here. I'm going to talk about that. That is where we have appearance here, because appearance here is going to show you like the states you see here. If you go to the appearance, you can see how do you want it. Is it a drop down? I mean, if I put minimal here and I save it again, you can see here that it's going to update. Now see what is going to happen to Nigerian state. So you're going to have the Nigerian state changing the format it was, because I've changed it, the appearance to minimal. So when it finishes optimizing, you can see what is going to happen to Nigerian state. So you can see select the state of the hospital automatically now is now a drop down. So this is the appearance part of it. Now what else again can we look for the hospital? We return back here again, and we also going to say, let's say owner. So under owner, let's say ownership, hospital ownership. So in hospital ownership, then we return back to choice here, and then under here we still type owner. We can say owner, and then under here we can say gov. Under here we can also say private. Private. Then under labeling we say government, and under here we can say private. So this means this is a private hospital. So what happens here, drag this ownership for both of them to answer ownership. What happens under ownership, you use select one. So I'm going to select one, and then I'm going to make under the list here, I'm going to make it owner. Remember, what is going to call it is what you put here. So owner is the best answer to it. So I'm going to put owner for the hospital. Now what next again can we talk about the hospital as well? We can talk about capacity, for example. So we can use kappa, and then under here, what is the hospital capacity? So now inside here we are going to select one. We go to choice here, and we can also type capacity, and then under here for us we can decide to make 0 to, we can also decide to make first. Let's put first. We can put second, we can put third, we can put fourth, and then in that fourth we can say here that the capacity of the hospital is less than, let's say here, less than 10 bed. Then we can say 10 to 20 beds. We can say here 20 to 50 beds, and then we can say here 50 and 50 beds and above. Now if you see first, second, third, what will be the keyword? Capacity. Now when we return back here, we say what is the hospital name. What are we going to do here? Select one, and then we replace this list name as capacity. Now if you save this and return back to the form, it will start optimizing and converting to XLSForm, and that's automatically going to get you this particular form in that particular format. So it's going to give you the capacity and then those results as it is. So you are going to get that then in that particular pattern. So if you look at the form now, you see that we have capacity. What is the capacity of the hospital? Less than 1. So you see this is selecting 1, and this is selecting, you see here, you can type name here, because why? Because we use text in the other part. Now quickly, we can also look at the hospital again and say operating hours. For example, we want to know operating hours, so we can say up hours. So in the operating hours, what is the hospital operating hours. Now remember, I am using hospital. You can use this either you are working in any field, even in oil company, even in hospital, even in security. Look, there are different places you can use. I am just using this as the general things that all of us can actually look at together. Now, hospital operating. So we can go in here. What are we going to use here? We can use operating, for example, and then let's use up hours. Let's just use hours. That would be very simple for us. Then let's use here, how do you want it? Is it operating 24/7? For example, a hospital can also only operate in limited hours, so it can be limited hours. A hospital can also operate only on emergency, for example. So what are we going to do here? We can do up one. That is, okay, let's make hour 1. Let's just write hour. Whatever you want, you can name it. So for me, I'm going to make it hour 1, hour 2, hour 3 to differentiate it. And here, I'm just going to leave it on hours. Now, it have to be select one. So under here, I will see need to return here and say select one, and then remove the list here and put hours. Now you can see here that is done. Then what else again can we consider when we look at the hospital? We can also look at the hospital in the aspect of maybe what other things do you think we can talk about the hospital again? Okay, let's talk about the types of the hospital. So I'm going to put type under here, and then it is a keyword, so I'm going to put types with this, and then I'm going now to say what is a hospital type. So I'm going to put hospital type. Now under type here, now we're going to do select many. So we're going to use select many. Let's go to the choices and build the choices here first. So I'm going to put type here, and then in the aspect of the this type, I can also make type 1, so that we do the same thing. Now, what are the types of hospital we can actually talk about? Is it a public hospital? So let's put public hospital. Is it a private hospital? We can also say, is it a teaching hospital? Is it a military hospital? Is it a government hospital? Then we can choose is this a kind of, let's say, specialized hospital? So you can put any kind of hospital you want to put under the types of hospital, and then what you just need to do is drag this so that you have the different things, and then on the type you return here and do the same thing, and you return to the survey. And remember, when you are selecting the type, let's assume we're going to use many now. So in this case, we're not going to use select one, but we're going to say select many. Select one from, so we are going to use select many now. So you can see select multiple list now is what I'm using. So select multiple, remember our choice here is type, so I'm going to go here. In that place I have lists multiple, I'm going to put type. So what will this happen? Let me save this, and then to show you what I'm trying to say in the XLS form, so that you get the difference between what select one and select many. Now I can select that the hospital house both military or not military, so you can see what I'm trying to say. So you can select that it is military or not military, and you can select many options. So if you look here, you see that this change. It means you can allow us select military, government, specialized. Here you see the difference because I use many. Then this automatically understand that. So let's also pass maybe two things again that will make us understand it more. Let's also talk about here what type of hospital staffs. So in this part, so let's just put staff, and then we are going to also select many for this, the next one. So we are going to select many, and then we are going to the choice here, and we are going to go in here and type staff. And then under staff here, we can make staff as well. So let's make staff 1, and then we can put here doctor. Whether the hospital, does it have a doctor? We can also put they have nurses. Then what else can hospital have again? They can also have in trainees. Then they can also have something like yes, some hospital have support staffs. So in here, I just need to drag the staff to here, and I can also go down here to drag the staff. Then in here, I will return here. In the multiple, I can just need to type staff. Now, if it is matching with the choice, great. Now, what else can we talk about? So we can also look at the hospital condition. So condition is a keyword. So I'm just going to make conditions. Let me put X. So what is the hospital condition? So we can say here under hint, we can say age, for example, age of the hospital. So when you have this, then we are going to make select one as well. So we are going to select one, and then here we are going to go to the choices and say condition, or let's just use age. Then let's use age 1. Let's also use age, and then age 1. So in the age, we can say old. When we say old, what we mean is above. Let's say a hospital is above 20 years. We can call it old. Then we can say this one that is below. Okay, let's say new, since we use old, and we now type below 20 years, for example, and we close the bracket. Now what happens here, we can drag this age one down, and then under age we can randomize them with age, and then we return back here, and then we go in here, and then age here, the list of the name, we now have to put age. Now another thing we can also talk about here is location. So let's talk about location. So in location, you just need to look here and look for location. So you can see calculate and image. You can see image as audio. You can see this. So you see here, you see different other tests. So if you keep going down this, you can see geo point. So what you need to put is geo point. Now if you see geo point here, I'm going to put look, and then I can say pick the coordinate. Now this is picking the coordinate. What else again I want us to also take, we can also pick photos. So we can even make a geolocation, like if you want to follow the person where the person is going, you can put a geotrace. This is imagery. If you want to put image, you select image here, and then you can also take here and put pictures, and then you can say snap the hospital. Now this is done. Now let's save this. If you look here, you see now nothing happens here. Let me put it side by side with the Excel so that you understand what I'm saying. If you look here, you see this is okay and everything is okay. Now the moment I press Ctrl S to save this, you see automatically this is going to pick, and that is going to pick, and that is going to now bring us into the updating the data into what we have right now. So this is a way you can build your data in different ways, not just only here, but you can build it in different aspects, not just only what I'm using here. So if you look here, you see now this gives you the coordinate, so you can pick the coordinate of where you are, and this is already done here. So you can see you can build the base map the way you want to build it, and whichever way you want to build it. But what is important is this is a way you can design a data. Now there was something I was saying that you can also connect these things to your GPS, and that's going to work. Now before that, I will return back here. You can see update here, you can see file, you can see tools. There are a lot of tools here. You can analyze, you can export, you can export the translation, you can import the translation. Then this is going to be here. This is publish, as you can see here. If I click on this, I am going to publish that anyway. This is form, this is option, so you can see different options here. This is map, you can see the map location, which you can actually design the way you want it. This is schema, this is script, and rest of them. For this sake, I am going to click on publish. So I'm going to say publish survey. So now this is going to be made online, and if you can look here, you can see the coordinate system is geographic coordinate system, which is W keyed of 4326. So this is actually checking. Once it is done, it is going to get this completely published for us. So this is a way you can design. So if you look here, you can see that this particular data has been published, and this is now in a domain where require you to actually pick it and work on it. So right now I have published this particular survey, or I've published this particular tools for data collection, and then I can actually use this now to work. So on this, I am back to my phone, and then I am going to use my phone to continue with what I am trying to explain to you. So on that, I'll be sharing my screen so that you can actually see what I am saying. So I will share my screen. So I believe you can see my screen now. So I'll be sharing my screen, and so you can actually use my screen to understand what I'm saying. So now I am here. So I'm going to Survey123, the same app. All I need to do is to actually install, like all I need to do is to actually get this particular app also download on my phone. So once that is done, so this is actually going to be there. So all you just need to do is to download this particular app on your phone. So once you download the app on your phone, you should be able to use that to actually do the same thing I want to do right now. So on a quick one, I want to change the screen, the view of my screen. So okay, so that's going to be side. I think this should be better. Okay, so I am going to pin this. All right, so I believe now you can actually see my screen. So now I just need to sign in, which I am just signing in. So it will open here for me either in my browser. So I click to sign my username, and this comes up here. So for me, this is the username I'm using. So I'm going to click that, and it's going to ask me to thumbprint, so which I'm going to thumbprint, and then I'm going to sign in. And then when that's sign in, so this now comes to my phone. So so you see here, I don't have that particular thing I published. So what I need to do right now is, on top of here, you can see where we have update available one. So click on that update available one, and then you are going to have this. Okay, so it is refreshing. So I'm actually refreshing that. Let me see what's in here. So it's actually refreshing, so let's wait a bit for it to refresh. So it actually give me update, but that's not what I want. So I'm going to pull down to refresh, because the particular form I publish supposed to actually come here. So I'm going to pull down to refresh. So, and that's supposed to actually have the other one there. So it is not there yet. So the best thing I could do is to return down to here where I have this particular file in here, so I can scan. So what I'm going to do is, hold on a bit. Because this is not the software I want to download. So let me click on a moment, please. So this is actually downloading the wrong one for me. Okay, so let me go to download survey, and you can see here. So when I come here, let me go back a bit. When I'm here, and then I can go to my profile, click on my profile here, and you can see download survey. Then I will click on download survey here, and that's going to load this for me. So if you look here, you can see that I have hospital data up here. So you can see the hospital data. As I did there, I published it. So if I click on that hospital data down here, then that is downloading the hospital data for me. So it is downloading, and then you can see here it has been downloaded. So if you look at the key, you see it is now Seco. Like so, if you come here, you can see the hospital data in here. Now if you click on the hospital data, what are you going to see here? This was created by me by the time and when it was published. Now if you look here, you can see delete survey, offline map, and if you click here, you can see the barcode. What is the function of the offline map? Assuming that there is a place that there will be no network, I can download if of the offline map and keep. But if you look here now, you see that this automatically have this on it. Now if I click on this, you can see down here I have collect. So if I click on this collect, it is now optimizing the survey for me. Now what do I mean? What is the name of the survey? I can say step hospital, step clinic, for example. Now select the states. You see now it is in drop down, so I have to go down and select the drop down and say is in Kogi. Is it functional? I say it is functional. Is it owned by government or private? It is owned by government. How many bed space? So we can look at it and say it is 50 and above. Are they limited or not limited? Based on the hours, I can say it's 24/7. What type of hospital is it? It is military hospital together with public hospital. Then what type of staff do they have? I can say they have doctors, nurse, support staff, and doctors. Then what type of age? I can say it is old hospital. Now on this automatically picks my location. As you can see, it automatically goes into pick my location, which I can actually click OK, and that's going to pick up my location. As you can see here, snap the picture. I can also click to open up and snap the picture. So you can see here that's automatically getting on the picture. So I can actually click to actually snap the picture. So if I am okay, I can click like this and the picture will be snapped. So as you can see here, what happens, I can delete that if I don't want. I can view, I can rename, like as you see here. Look at the date and the time it picked. If I'm okay, by clicking on this I can rename. So once I am done with this, I can click on save, and you can see here this is actually gathering the information. So that's automatically actually save and upload that for me. So this is a way you can collect this data. Now what I was saying is that this data, so you can see this data can also be, I don't know what happens to the app. Yeah, so but it's having a kind of this. So now you can see the add box here. So you can see one hospital had been synced. So you can see here it had been, you can save it. So you can see it here. It is now uploading. So it is now uploading the data, and once this is done, you can see one of the hospitals have been saved. Now top right here, if you look here by the place you have the satellite, which I'm clicking, so you can see here that it have a satellite here which is giving you the location, the horizontal accuracy. This is a sky plot which is showing you what the plot looks like and how it is looking like right now, the number of the coordinate, the user, and then the number of GPS that is available. This is integrated. This is what I was talking about. If you have GPS, you can click a plus sign here and you can connect it to a differential GPS. You can connect through Bluetooth, through network or file, and that will be integrated by clicking here. Integrated here means it is using my GPS, so which you can see here information, it is using the phone internal GPS. So if you have another GPS, like if I have another, you can see this antenna, this is using my own phone. Altitude, you can also see is using my own phone. But if you have another GPS, you need to collect data maybe for water, a kind of water types of data, like water point, or you are talking about, so this can actually be done in different ways. So you can see here, I can click here to add a new GPS if I want to add a new GPS. So by clicking on this, you will see that. Then this is the map, so which also shows you the map. So if you zoom out, so you should be able to see the whole map of the world, and then wherever it is, so you can actually see the map of the world however it is, and the background. Now this is the log, where it keep on collecting the login for you. So as you can see the way it is logging, so it keep on collecting that for you. So this is a perfect way you can collect that. So if you go again, collect again, you select the same thing, functional, and you type the name Pablo Hospital, for example. So to Pablo Hospital, then what is state, you can say it is in Abia state. Then what is it functional, you say not functional. Is it owned, is owned by government, it is 20 to display, they have 24, it is only public, and they only have nurses, and then it is new, and then the coordinate is there, so you can snap or not snap, and you can click here, you see continuous survey, or you can send that automatically. So you can see now it is sending Pablo Hospital, and that have been sent. If you look here, you see that I have sent to for me, and then if you click here, you can see that you can also re-upload. You can see here, go to the Google map, you can see the location, or you click here again and you can see it on the map automatically. So this is a way you can design a form, not just only hospital. Assuming you want to talk about this, and the good aspect of this is actually in real time and online communicating with you, because as it is now, I can connect this into my ArcGIS and I can give you the location of those points as it is right now. So this is a way you can design a form, and like I said, you are going to use my own form to collect your data. While you design your own form, you choose either hospital or water, but at least whatever you're going to design, you are going to design this. And I'm also going to share this XLS form, like I said, so that you can upload it and see the way your own works. So I'm going to share the SLS form, and then you can actually upload that yourself and see the way how it works. So this is what I'm going to pretty much of it for today. But like I said, I'm going to share the XLS form, and then when I share it, what I expect you to do on the SLS form is for you to actually select SLS form and upload, and should be able to see what I do and how it shows for you, and then you can make your own changes. And I just want you to try and see how it goes. Now before I leave here, there is also option here where we call the way you want it to display. You can, if you want it, like if I want it to be on a smartphone, I can customize it to smartphone. Now if you look here, you see this is the way it will be looking on the smartphone if I'm using it on the smartphone. Now if it is a monitor, this is how it will be looking on the monitor. If it is a flip screen, you see here, so this is a kind of visualization. If it is a laptop, this is how it will look on the laptop. If the monitor, smartphone, tablet, this is the view on the tablet. Then this is a portrait, so you can see the way it's. So if it is on the smartphone, you have idea that, oh, this is how it will be looking. Now again, in the color, you can also change the color. What you need to know is, for example, if I type blue here, look, you can see the hospital is showing blue. If I type black, you can see the hospital is showing black. What is the background? I can type the background as white. Then you can see here it is white background. I can type it as blue. So this is what I want you to understand, and I really want you to understand. You can see here black. I can also type it as gray, and you see here this is showing gray, and I can also leave it as green, and then this is also showing green. So you can see here what is the color test. So if I want the color test black, I can make it remain in black. If I want the color test to be red, I can change red here, and you can see the color test changing to red. But all things being equal, let's leave it on black. What is the background color? The background color, if you say red, so you can see the background color red. If you want it gray, you can type gray here, and this gray. If you want it blue, so you can type blue here. So you can see different ways it can. So if you want it green, so it's just for you to type the color in here, and that's going. So you see I typed green wrong, and that's giving me the wrong answer. So this is green. So but for my case, I'm going to make it white. Then this is the background imagery. If you have background imagery, you can add a background imagery. So for example, I just want to randomly select a kind of image, so I will just go to download and then maybe select a picture of my choice. So I can just go in here, select a picture of my choice. So let me go to pictures and then go to maybe here, and I can say I want it to show me any picture of my choice. So let me use this. So if I open it up here, so you can see the background of a picture, which is my picture as it's displayed there. So that becomes the background of the picture. If I don't want, I can remove it. Input pick color, you can put the color. Then the footer, as you see here, what is the color name? If I say the text name, this is the footer. This is the background of the color. So if I say black, so you can see it's showing me black here. So but I prefer to leave it white. So this is a way you can design it, and that works for the color, the background. Here, if you click here, you can see the information about it. Here you can reload it. If you want to reload, as you can see here, it is now reloading for me, so you can see the way it shows on the phone. For example, here I don't want it to be, I want it to show me in compass. So you can see here horizontal. If you click on horizontal and save this, return back to this, you should see the way it is changing. It will change the Nigerian state into that pattern. So this is a way you can make this. And now once I finish here and click upload, if you go down to the phone, it is signaling me that there is an update. So that means even as a GIS specialist, while you are at work, you can actually make an update and it will update while you are there. So if you look here, you can see here, this is the format it have shown it for me, because I say horizontal. If I say like done, if you go here, if I also say search, look at search, if I say save, now it means that in here is going to be saved in the pattern that when I want to search for the name of the state, it will be a search path. If I type, I'm trying to type Abia State, that is going to put in for me in Abia State. So you can see the way that is going to be. So if you look at it now, so it's now putting it up. And so if you go back, you can see the search how it is. So this is Abia State. So you can see the way now it is a long one. That's what makes me actually cut it off. So I would prefer now to leave it in horizontal, so you can make it horizontal compact and then you save it. So this is the way you can design the form, and then once you design, you can actually export it, and anybody who is using this particular platform, wherever the person is, the person can actually take the platform, and whether the person is in the feed, so the person can actually see that this is the changes you made in the feed, and the person can pick it up and continue. So this is a perfect way of getting it done. So this is a perfect way of getting it done. And then like you see here, there are other this thing here like this, the schema, so where you can know the type of things, the alias, the name. So we will talk about these things better. This is the script, you can add a script to it. This is the linked content, you can see this is the linked content. Now this can be open here in the browser, so I can share this with you. If I need it to see it in internet, I can see it in internet. So which is the next thing we're going to do next time. So it's not just today, because like I said, this is going to form a basics for us. It's going to form a basics for us for creating our dashboard. So you can follow this to see what is here. So you can see everything you need to see here. Then this is the details, where you can put the detail, the summary. Now here in the details here, look at the picture here. If you click on the thumbnail here and then go to pictures, so I'm just going to go to any place I see pictures. So let me go to my screenshot, and then let me just look for a random picture in the screenshot, and I say in the random here, let me open up here, and if you put this in, that automatically takes in as a picture as the background. So or you can use this, if you put it up, that's automatically take this in as a background. So what it means is that look at the description, this is the summary, this is the title, which you can always modify. If I return back here, you can see that this particular place is supposed to change and give me that picture that so you can see the picture here. So if I go in here to actually, if I go to my phone and publish again and refresh, you are going to get this particular this thing in as well. So on this, like I said, we are going to look at it deeper, because like I said, we are going to be working on different aspects of this form, because there are many things to do here, and This is just like a basic of what we're going to get, and we're going to collect data, and we use this to show you how you can access this data in real time in ArcGIS Pro or ArcGIS. How do you create, assuming people are in the field collecting data, how do you monitor them in real life, in real time? How do you know where they are? So these are what we're going to be talking about. So but for now, this is pretty much of it for today. And then if you have any question you want to ask me, so you can go ahead and ask me. If not, I think I will be dropping it